Okay, looks like we are live. Let me turn up my audio here for a second. Welcome to the stream. Um, yeah, so we've already got some questions. Thank you to the people who are already in the chat. I have Money Puck's projections or odds, I guess, next to me here. I did some changes that I don't sound all robotic-y, so hopefully this time I don't go robotic-y. Let me tweet this out really quick and put it in the Discord so that people. Oh, let's move this over here. There we go. Good evening, good afternoon for me. It's 3 o'clock here. Great time to do it. Great time to do stream. Actually, I realized that this time is probably not great for East Coast people, but great for West Coast. One second, let me just get this out of here, and I'll start getting to questions. How are all of you doing today? I'm listening to some music while I do this, which I haven't done before. I haven't done in a while, which is nice. Usually I have to hear Brandon in my ear. It's a little bit different. Ah! Can't type. There we go. Okay, so we are live on the stream. I'm giving some time for people to come in. Don't want to answer questions that other people might have, so just kind of killing a little bit of time here. I feel like people are either at work or on their way home from work, or maybe just getting home. I don't know. Different scenarios for everyone, I suppose. This album is good. Feeling this. What am I listening to? I am listening to live Fortet set. It's if you don't know who Fortet is, he's an electronic artist. He has a side. He has like an alias or an alt name that he uses to put out his live shows, and there's one show that's just phenomenally mixed. So phenomenally. I can't say that word right now. Anyways, okay, so let's see. And also, Bill, don't worry about all the questions. All the questions are good. We love questions. So Marco rolls Staylock, Qdobin, or Murray today. Wins saves league. Huh. Actually, give me 1 second. So I'm guessing, Marco, that's one of those goalies are the only ones you're going to roll today. I like Qdobin quite a bit, even though he's not necessarily favored today. Actually don't mind him. I like Minnesota as well. I wouldn't go Murray, even though it's Buffalo, just not. Yeah, I'd probably go Qdobin and then Staylock. Although if what you need is wins, because the Sharks don't really put that many shots on net normally, so I'd probably go Qdobin and then Staylock. That's my order for those people there. Putting faith in Crawford tonight. I like it. I mean, they have 52% chance against Edmonton, but Edmonton has been red hot. I'm terrified of anyone has to play Edmonton. It is quite the scary situation. I took Marleau to bury my opponent with starts. Not a bad move. I mean, is what it is. Marleau is fine. Burying in starts is good, especially when you're trying to catch peripherals. That's the most important thing there. From Kobe, I'm upset with fantasy thanks to you. I find myself always talking about fantasy randomly, and I check my team like every hour, even though I don't have any games. Yep, I do that all the time too. When I don't have games, I'm like, why is there nothing here? Why am I not getting points? And you start to see the point. Like, it's funny because I always check the score when I don't have games, and my opponent is getting points, and so the points start kind of getting away from me. And then I remember, okay, hold on, I haven't had any starts today. I can catch up here. So it's a weird dilemma. Um, this is from Jamie Mack. I have Staylock in Binnington with Mrazek and Grubauer on IR plus. Opponent has Georgiev, Leonard, Corpy, and Shesty IR plus. Goalie stats are close. Thoughts on Allen, Talbot, Campbell. St. Louis has 4 games in 6 nights starting tomorrow. I really like St. Louis's matchups. So I really like Staylock as well, to be honest. I don't think Mrazek is necessarily worth holding on to, personally. I do like Staylock quite a bit. But I do like Allen as well, just because St. Louis has some really easy matchups coming up here, especially next week. St. Louis is a great schedule, really easy teams. So I would assume that Allen gets 1 or 2 starts in there somewhere. And I definitely like Allen more than I like Talbot or Campbell. Talbot's been good, but he's also kind of hit or miss at times. I feel like Allen is a little bit of a safer bet with a better team in front of him and a much, much easier schedule than what Talbot has. My drop would be Henrique or Riley Smith for one of those goalies above. Yeah, I'm not against dropping Henrique. I would probably drop Henrique for one of those. Kobe Hockey Nick, I'm in a bad position for playoffs, currently losing 5-15. My goalie situation is tough, but I need Hard to pop off tonight and Campbell tomorrow. Is Cal Peterson starting tonight? Let's see. I'm not quite sure. LA does have a pretty good chance against Toronto here, though. Drieger's confirmed. Hart is confirmed. Hart's at home, though, so that person that needed Hart, you're probably going to do okay because he crushes it at home. It doesn't look like they've said anything about Quick or Peterson, so I don't know about that one just yet. What's the next one here? What you listening to? Answered that one. Campbell robbed me the other night against San Jose. Yeah, that was brutal. Do you think Fiala can keep 70 point? Can Fiala keep a 70? I'm guessing point per game. I'm guessing 70 point pace rest of season. Yeah, I think Fiala is the real deal, and I would hold. I mean, Minnesota has been looking really good. I get that Fiala is crazy unsustainable. He has a 95% IPP. If you go back to the unsustainable episode from Wednesday, we talk about that a little bit. Fiala, while doing very well, is super insane. It's super inflated. So while I think that he's going to come down, I do like him at that 70-ish point pace. I like him what he's doing right now, at least to continue. He's a good hot hand to bet on. And on top of that, he's just one of those guys that you're not going to... If you replace him with someone on the wire, there's no chance in hell you're going to replace the points that he's getting you right now. So that's kind of where Fiala's in an interesting situation. Is like, yeah, I think he can continue this crazy pace, but I also think it could kind of come down to more in like the 55-60 mark. I don't think that'll happen, but it could, right? So that's why I think on unsustainable, I said kind of pay attention, be careful, and just plan that. Plan for like Fiala potentially falling off. Let me let my dog out really quick. Okay. What's the next one here? Ivan, just wanted to say thank you for all the fantasy advice and content this year. Can't wait for the Razzies. You guys are the best. Thank you. And good shout out to the Razzies. I'm excited for those too. It's going to be so much fun. Last year, it was fun to choose the worst of the worst. It's just funny because so many of them too are like guys that either we don't like or didn't like, or guys that we were completely wrong on. Like last year, Line A took home the biggest prize, even though it was almost Quick who took home the biggest prize, but it was Line A at the end of the day. Let's see. What's the next one here? Matt Lauren, choose one to start for tonight for all cats except blocks. Timo Meier, Patrick Hornquist, Tyler Ennis, or Buchnevich. So I'm not going Tyler Ennis. Probably going Buch, actually. Hornquist has moved down to second power play. Timo hasn't really been doing much, only playing like 15 minutes. Tyler Ennis has only played he's been playing 9 to 11 minutes. So yeah, I would go Buchnevich there. What's the next one here? And the downside to Buchnevich, I would say if you need peripherals, I'd probably go Timo. Like if what you need more of is the peripherals, I'd go Timo. If what you need more of is points, then I'd go Buchnevich. That would be probably my call there. Nathaniel worried about someone in league getting Dustin Brown ahead of schedule. Got one pickup left. Worth it for his hits and points ability. Absolutely. And especially LA has a great schedule next week. In 2 leagues. In 2 leagues, I picked up Dustin Brown preemptively. Mostly because one of them I'm probably going to have a bye next week, but it was more in case I don't have a bye, then I have him. And also kind of preventing other people from getting him. And he might even be a good one rest of season, to be honest, like through the playoffs, if he can keep that deployment, because LA doesn't have a terrible schedule. Um, and yeah, so I would say it's fine to pick him up. Just really make sure that he actually adds starts for next week and doesn't hurt you because he's a right wing only. He might be hurting you by having to bench somebody else or whatever. Matt, thoughts on Scott Lawton? Think he will get on the power play with Van Riemsdyk out now? I don't know. I think apparently Farabee's probably going to get called back up. I would assume Farabee gets the power play call before Scott Lawton if he gets called up, but I'm not sure. I mean, Philly is a team with so many weapons that it's kind of tough to really know exactly what they're going to do because they can put a lot of. I mean, they've shifted things so much now. So Farabee is now listed second line according to Daily Faceoff. So I'm going to assume that he's the one that's going to get that power play deployment and not Lawton. But even then, it's only second power play, so it doesn't matter too much. But I don't think Lawton will be getting power play time with JVR out. Ken McKenzie, need your help here, Gamby. I'm entrenched in a close playoff matchup. The other guy and I are both putting up huge numbers this week to the point where we would beat any other person by a mile. Who do I start tonight? Price, Georgiev, or Samsonov can start up to 2, win, loss, shutout, and save percentage. Opponent has Bishop, Kemper, Olmark, and Fleury. Huh. So Olmark I don't think matters too much. He's not starting tonight. Fleury and Kemper and Bishop are obviously really good. So I would probably go. Georgiev has actually been awful at home. I'm not sure I'd play him tonight. I might play Samsonov, but that is risky. I mean, none of these starts are good. I don't like Price against Tampa. The tough thing for you is that you have L's, and the goalies that they have are really good. So on one hand, you might want to be chasing wins, but you're probably going to sacrifice save percentage. Like if I were you, that's a tough one. I mean, I'd probably go Georgiev, Samsonov, guarantee the win in your scenario, just because they're probably going to get wins there from Bishop and Fleury and Kemper. So I would take the guaranteed win for tonight and then go into the weekend seeing what you need to chase. If you can only chase save percentage, now you know what to do. If you think you still have a shot and wins, then cool. I don't think Price gets the win, so I'd rather take the guaranteed one between Georgiev and Samsonov there. From Peter Taylor, thoughts on Eberle? His ice time is up to 20 minutes pretty consistently. Are either of Bobby Ryan or PK Subban a decent pickup for next week in a goals, assist, power play points, short shots, hits, blocks league? I do not like PK Subban. Bobby Ryan is fine. Not great, but just fine. Not against it, but also not thrilled with it. I think if you do pick up Bobby Ryan, it's fine, but just give him a very, very short leash. Like as soon as he starts falling off even a little bit, you cut bait and you don't look back. I think that's the right move on it. I do like Eberle quite a bit recently. I like him more than Brandon does. Brandon doesn't like him for a few reasons that I can't remember at the moment, but I just remember he's not super high on him. But I'm pretty high on Eberle because he's at top power play and top line. It's actually pretty surprising that Jean-Gabriel Pageau got that top power play spot, which is interesting. That's definitely something to watch eventually. But I like Eberle a lot. I mean, if you're between Eberle, Bobby Ryan, or PK Subban, I would much rather have Eberle over those two by a mile. Let's see here from Nathaniel. Let me check actually. Oh, we got some multi-cat monster questions. Let me answer those really quick. Those are YouTube members. We take those first along with super chats. So let's see. Would Parise be good to stream in for Saturday, Sunday points and bangers? Yeah, I like Parise. He's a good option. And thank you, Rogerson, for the hair comment. I did it in 2 seconds with my hair under the sink because I didn't want to jump into the shower and fully do it entirely. I got a tattoo on Tuesday. I don't know if you can see it, but it's healing, so I don't really want to shower yet. I'm like, I know that's maybe gross to say, but I'm like, I don't want to shower right now. I'm trying to get it to heal properly. And showering is not exactly. It does have a little like I don't know how to show it. There it is. There it is. Like it has a like thing on it, but it's healing. And that just happened Tuesday, so I'm waiting. Anyways, okay, going back up. Where is this? Nathaniel, 3 points separate second through seventh in my league. Pray for me. I finished in the top 6. Damn, that's crazy. Right now, in one of my leagues, there is a 4-way tie for second, and second gets a bye, and this is the last week. I currently hold that second place spot. First place is currently losing, so if I were to win, I get first if first place loses, and of course I get the bye. But if I lose, I'm not going to get a bye because third and fourth are playing each other. So whichever one of those, if I lose and one of those two win, I get out. It's crazy. I would love a bye, but it's been hellish because there's some really really good teams and it's been crazy competitive. But it's really fun. I'll take matchups like that all day. It is a really weird day for wins today, Marco. It is odd. It is very odd. What's the next one here? Craig Beeson need assists, power play assists, hits, sit 2. Fiala, Turbo, connecting Meyer, Palat, Hoffman. I'm sitting Meyer for sure. Love this track. And I'm probably sitting Meyer and Palat, to be honest, and playing Konechny, Turbo, Fiala, and Hoffman. Hoffman I would maybe bench just because he's not really going to get you assists, but neither's Palat from an upside perspective. I'd rather have Hoffman's upside. They're playing Boston, which sucks though. I'm between Palat and Hoffman. Those are like the two people. But yeah. I know I can protect the tattoo from the shower. I'm just lazy. I don't want to. Like when you shower, you have to like hold your arm up on the side. You like hold it up on the side of the shower and like clean yourself. It's just weird. I don't know. I hate doing it. So I'm gonna shower in a bit though. I've put it off. I only put it off a day. I woke up, did work instead, and had tea. Worked from home. Just was like, you know what? I'm gonna just leave it. Where did I leave off here? So I'd probably sit Meyer and Palat personally and play Hoffman, Konechny, Turbo, and Fiala. Do you think Allen will get a start this week? This week, I'm not entire. I don't think so, just because St. Louis doesn't have a back-to-back. But next week they do have a back-to-back, so he'll definitely get one next week. I don't think he'll get one this week, as far as Allen goes. Love the podcast, you guys. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. That's from Matt Lauren. Very, very much appreciated. Would you drop Riddick for Saros rest of season if you're looking for volume stats? Probably yes. I probably would. I mean, I think Rene is virtually done at this point as far as starting goes because Nashville needs to win games. They absolutely need to win games, and Saros is going to be the go-to guy to get those wins. From Alex, rank these players rest of season in a bangers league. Playoffs go until April 4th. Mantha, Kubalik, Foligno, Toffoli. Toffoli is my favorite. Kubalik is my second favorite. Mantha's my... Actually, don't know if I like Mantha more. To me, it's Toffoli, Kubalik, Mantha, Foligno tied. Mantha for points, Foligno for peripherals. That's probably my take. It's Mantha, Foligno, exactly the same, but depends on what you need. You do have Toffoli and Kubalik, though, who are point guys. Mantha's also a point guy, so if what you need is... Because you have those 2 point guys already, I'd probably go Foligno over Mantha, just because that rounds you out a little bit more. And Foligno's actually been doing good on the points front, too. Gonna need a Macumba to fix my goalies. Can you hook me up with your guy, Gamby? That's from More Misconduct. More Misconduct, go talk to Marco in the chat. Marco can do the Macumba for you. From Ian, sit 2, Howla, Lawton, Dylan Strome, Dadonov. I would sit Lawton and Howla and play Strome and Dadonov. How do you like Palat over Hyman given the power play situation for both? I like Palat over Hyman personally. I think Palat is probably going to be more consistent going forward as they need that secondary scoring than Hyman. But I just like the ceiling on Palat more than I like the ceiling on Hyman. That's all it is. Pretty much similar players, I think, for the most part. but I think the ceiling on any given night is going to be higher for Palat now, as opposed to Heinen. Just to confirm, you would add Allen and hope he starts either tomorrow or Sunday, but if not, he will get a start or two next week against those garbage teams. Yes, exactly. So he might get a start this weekend. I don't think he will, but he might. But next week he absolutely will, because when they move the because I'm pretty sure they have at least one back-to-back next week. So he's going to get one of those two games. Let me confirm that. So yeah, so he plays. So they play the 8th and the 9th, and that's a back-to-back. And then they play the 11th against the Ducks and the 13th against the Blues. So he might actually get Sunday because they play the Panthers the next day. So it depends on whether he's going to get the Sunday or Monday game. Either way, he's going to get one of those two. So if you're looking at it, I think he'll get a start early in the week, which means you can actually move on to another goalie right after, probably. Should I pick up Fiala for this week and next week? You should pick up Fiala long term. But I have Lindholm and Gaudreau, and Calgary only has 2 more starts this week and 2 all of next. I think I might like Fiala over Lindholm, actually. I might like Fiala over Lindholm. Let's see. Where did I leave off? I lost my spot. Looking to add Zucker in a points league. Thinking of dropping Stastny or Henrique. Fighting for the bye right now. I would drop Stastny. I would drop Stastny because if you're going to keep one of the two, Stastny has a pretty bad schedule next week. Henrique has a good one. And I would probably look to maybe still drop Henrique for someone else if they're out there. But I'd absolutely add Zucker for Stastny for next week. To further up my question, I've got 1 W, 1 L, and a 907 going into tonight. He has 1 win, 0 losses, and a 947. I think Vegas could give Leonard another after last start. And Bishop has been hurt. Yeah, I'd take the guaranteed win there. I know you're going to get an L. But I would rather take the guaranteed win than the L, I think. I would rather take the guaranteed win and the guaranteed L as opposed to neither, if that makes sense. And a potential for good save percentage from both sides, because both Samsonov and Georgiev have been good at times. What are your favorite teams with good schedules next week? I know Flames only played twice. The Kings have a great schedule. The Blues have a great schedule. The Blues are probably my favorite schedule. It's just really hard to make any pickups from St. Louis. I'm trying to remember just off the top of my head who I like. Let me look this up very quick. The Oilers have a good schedule. The Avalanche have a good schedule. The Sharks actually surprisingly have a good schedule because they have 2 off nights. Even though they only play 3 games, they have 2 off nights. That's about it. There's not a lot to take advantage of next week. And Saturday and Sunday are both heavy game days. So makes things a little bit tough next week. Early week pickups are going to be much more important than late week pickups. Carrying both Murray and Jarry as goalies in my league. Best on waivers, Locke, Koskinen, Mike Smith. If Khudobin gets dropped, maybe any of them worth it for a third goalie. Drop Suzuki/Connor Murphy. I do like dropping Suzuki. I'd probably grab Smith or Halak. Halak is probably going to get more starts down the stretch here as they rest Rask. So I do like Halak quite a bit. He's a 9.20 on the season, so that's pretty good. So I'd probably go Halak and then Mike Smith second. The good thing about Mike Smith is that he gets you off nights, but you're carrying both Murray and Jarry, so you're going to have an open spot most of the time anyways. Would it be worth dropping Troubadour for Eric Johnson for next week, needing hits and blocks? Nah, I'd keep Troubadour, especially for hits and blocks. The Rangers have a pretty good schedule. They have 3 games next week. And Eric Johnson, while having 4, I would rather have 3 games of. What I would do actually is the Rangers don't play Sunday, so if you really needed to and you were desperate, you can drop Troubadour for Eric Johnson on Sunday, and then you still get 4 games. But I would say that Trouba has a higher peripheral ceiling than Eric Johnson does. That's on Eberle versus Ottawa. Going to get a lot of points. Hopefully, he is power play 1, so Eberle is pretty interesting because of that power play 1. Trouble deciding. This is from Montauk. Trouble deciding tonight between Brady Tkachuk, Huberdeau, Rust, and Marner. Points league, Bangers league. How many, Montauk, how many can you start? That's important to know, too. I need to know how many people you can start. Opinions on Sorelli. I'm looking to pick up for face-off wins, shots on goal, and hits. Does he stay top power play? Probably. The only other person I could see taking it from him is Kaloran. Other than that, I think he has a decent lock on it. So I like him for that. Do you think there's a chance of Leonard stealing the net from Fleury? No, I don't think so. I don't really think there's a chance that Leonard. Yeah, don't think Leonard steals the net. I think it's more of a split because they can rest Fleury a lot now for the playoffs. So I think Leonard could get more starts down the stretch here than what we think. But I don't think he steals the net. Although who knows? Fleury is older, but I don't think so. I don't think they do that. Jimmy Brown, this is my first season listening to you guys, and it's been great. Thanks. It's not over yet, but for sure looking forward to the next season and hear what you guys have to say in the offseason. We have so many things coming. We're going to continue through the playoffs, do more like daily stuff. We're going to do some episodes on like just team predictions, I guess. We're doing some kind of bracket stuff. On top of that, in the offseason, we'll do some dynasty talk. We'll do our normal stuff next year. We also want to release a lot of free stuff, so obviously we'll have the tools, the draft kit, hopefully some other cool things that we'll be able to announce. And then I also want to do like, the left wing locks and the Daubers and that kind of thing. They put out their like big PDF with a bunch of information. Who's the person that's going to bounce back or whatever, that kind of stuff with points projections and everything. We want to make one of those, but for free for everyone. So we're going to work on that really hard in the off season. So if we take like a month off, just know that we're technically off, but we're working really hard on getting everyone things. So that's kind of the big thing we're doing next season. Bench one, Kuzi after back-to-back versus the Rangers, Barkov versus Boston, and Barzal versus Ottawa. This is going to sound crazy, but I might bench Barkov. Barkov's done nothing, and it's against Boston. I know Barkov can go off at any moment. It seems crazy to bench, but I'm probably benching Barkov there. Barzal's been phenomenal. Ottawa sucks. And then on top of that, you've got Kuznetsov who's playing with Ovi. So, I mean, it's probably between Kuz and Barkov, and I'd rather have Kuznetsov against the Rangers than Barkov versus Boston. So, that'd be my take. Leonard for him. From Graham, I would not pick up Leonard in lieu of Fleury. I would pick up Leonard to be with Fleury if you can. Like, I would love that tandem of Fleury-Leonard. From Snipe Jones, one more ad for the week and looking to maximize starts. JVR needs to be replaced. So looking at Nick Ritchie, Nino, Minnesota bums who play 10 minutes a game, and McCann. Probably Nino. Although also look at Danson Heinen is an interesting option if you're looking. Well, I don't know if you can use Anaheim players. Oh, for this week though. For this week specifically, I think I like Nino the best of all the people that you said there. I just want to check Minnesota's schedule again to see if I actually like it as much as I think I do. Yeah, definitely. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'd go Nino and then Minnesota bums just because Minnesota has a pretty good schedule. You get the Sharks. Today is Thursday. So you would get the Sharks today if you can do same day pickup. And then you're going to get Los Angeles and you're going to get the Ducks. Like that's a pretty good schedule for them. So that's what I'd do there. Graham, also big thank you for all the help this year. Of course, glad we can help. Two of them. So Montauk said 2. So let me go back to this. So trouble deciding between Brady Tkachuk, Huberdeau, Rust, and Marner points bangers league, and you can only start 2. So if you need bangers, I would go for Tkachuk. Obviously, Tkachuk is like unbenchable if you need peripherals. And then you're really between Huberdeau, Rust, and Marner. I don't like Huberdeau because he's against Boston. Huberdeau's been kind of brutal. Rust has been pretty damn solid, along with... I think I like Marner against LA the best there. I'd probably go Marner Tkachuk. I think I'm either going to go Marner Tkachuk here or Rust Tkachuk, assuming what you need. Assuming you need peripherals. If you don't need peripherals, then I'd go Marner Rust. But if you need some sort of peripherals, I'd go Marner Tkachuk or Rust Tkachuk. Where to leave off? Which could be available in very deep league. So yeah, Snipe. So the only other people that I'd look at are the Ducks. So you can look at like Danton Heinen, for example, who's 1%er. who might be available in your deep league. He plays Friday, Sunday, 2 starts, but he gets a tired Toronto team and a tired Minnesota team. So you're going to get probably Dubnyk and Jack Campbell in net, or Freddie. I guess Freddie is probably better, isn't it? So Danson Heinen is one of my favorite really deep pickups that I'm eyeing. So that's someone I'd take a look at and see if they fit. Considering dropping Dahlin, I'm doing the same, to be honest. No, I don't think you're crazy for thinking about dropping Dahlin. I've thought the same thing. The only thing is it depends where you're at. Like, if what you need more than anything is ceiling, Dahlin's a guy who's going to get you ceiling. Like, if you can actually take that hit of not having Dahlin and take on the risk, then I think I am thinking of dropping for what it's worth. So I don't know. I'm in a tough spot because I'm exactly in the same spot. The problem is that when I look at who's out there, I'm personally fine on peripherals. I don't need peripherals, and it's more just about like who's going to get me that ceiling. I would maybe drop Dahlin for Duncan Keith at this point. Probably the minutes are higher, peripherals are better. Don't hate it. Oh, I need water really quick. Apologies. Really need to water there. I mute it so that people can't hear me like actually drinking. So what was where did I leave off? Damn it, I lost my place. Tien, I have Francouz, Jari, Kidobin. Should I pick up Shesterkin over any of them? I think I like Shesterkin over Jari now, just because Pittsburgh can't figure it out. It's just I think Shesterkin. Then the next question, which is from Brandon Smith, do you think Igor Shesterkin comes back with similar numbers as what he had before? Hoping him and Kemper can carry my goalie stats for the playoffs. I do think he can. I actually picked him up. I dropped Georgiev and picked up Shesterkin. I like Shesterkin quite a bit. I think he's going to be just fine when he comes back. Alex, can you rank the top 3 point getters from the weekend preview? I can. So I like Duncan Keith for points, which Brandon brought up. I like Nemesnikov for points if he's actually top power play, top line rather. I think he's also playing top power play. But I like Nemesnikov. I like Keith. And then I actually kind of like Heinen if he continues to shoot like he is. I like him as a bet. That would probably be my 3 favorites. Keith being my ultimate favorite as far as just points go. For Marco, actually, it's my wife that does the Macumba. She's kind of tired of me asking if she can also use Tarot to game my ads. That's great. That's pretty funny. Picking up Dustin Brown ASAP. Yeah, I love Dustin Brown. I would pick up Dustin Brown over Hornquist because Hornquist is second power play at the moment. So yeah, what Big said, I'd go with Dustin Brown. Raj points league bench 1. Kuzi. Oh, I already did that one, didn't I? I think I did. Okay. Niskanen or Keith? Definitely Keith. Eric, good call. Big Burga. What do you know about Matt Irwin for peripherals? Anyone in Anaheim going to take his ice time? I don't think so. The only person that I know, to be honest, I haven't paid attention to Irwin. The only person I know that was kind of injured, was it Goulet? No, Goulet got moved. There was some Anaheim defenseman that got injured last game. I think. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was Goulet, I think, who was injured. Yeah, Goulet got injured last game. And so I think it was Irwin so Irwin had been playing 22 minutes all games, and then all of a sudden got 27, and that was because Goulet went out, I think. But Irwin's been pretty phenomenal even without it. It's just last night the blocks went up. So Irwin's probably a good gamble at 0% owned if what you really need is peripherals, and it's a league that deep. I would rather have Crawford over Jari at this point, Mark. Also, hey Shanae, how did the whale tattoo turn out? Because I remember you were getting a tattoo on Tuesday as well. Already have Heinen. Nice. So I'd go with a Minnesota player, Snipe. Yeah, Montauk, if you're between Huberdeau and Marner, I'd probably go Huberdeau. Huberdeau has just been so cold. And they have a harder matchup against Boston than Toronto does against LA. I think that's all it comes down to at that point. If you're between both of those, like just go matchup wise, and I like the LA matchup way more than Boston. Do I play Marchand tonight or Taves? Marchand for sure. Marchand all day. Why did I even think about that? Nicholas, thanks for all your help this season. Maybe not so much pickups, but strategy and how I think fantasy hockey you've helped so much. I'm first in one league and second in the other. Awesome. I'm glad we've been able to help. We try to explain what we're thinking as much as we can because we like to say this all the time, but our goal in the podcast is not to give you players. That's just a cool aside that we give you tips of people that we're paying attention to. But the true goal, like from our side, is we want to help people think about fantasy hockey in a better way, in an easier way, smarter way, whatever. Because once you start thinking about it a certain way, it's a lot more fun. Is Ovi still going to be a stud next year or regress? Honestly, at this point, like everyone keeps thinking, they're going to regress at some point, and then they don't, and then he doesn't. So I think what we're seeing I think a little bit of a regression is probably expected next year. I think at this point with this age, you always need to expect a little bit of a regression, but his shots are still as high as ever. So I would expect his shots to stay high. The big question is, the release, right? As he gets older, is the release as quick? Does he have as much strength on his shots? That's the thing if that comes down, you're going to start to see less goals go in because he relies so much on placement, obviously, which is good that you don't need as much speed for, but speed is a huge factor in his shots and the speed of his release. That's one thing to pay attention to. From Mark, which defenseman do you like more for playoffs, McAvoy, Edler, or Clefbaum? Wow, that's a tough one. I think I like Clefbaum the most. It's my order is probably Clefbaum, Edler, McAvoy. Although I do like Edler a lot. Edler and Clef are kind of a little bit tied, but I think Clef's upside is higher because he'd be top power play. So I go Clef, Edler, McAvoy in that order. What's up, Zilgrim? Shanae, wait, should I drop him too? I dropped him for Giordano. Who are we talking about here? Who did you drop for Giordano? Keith, maybe? Tommy, I have Bob, Kemper, and Farley as my 3 goalies. I'm dropping one for a streamer spot. Do you see Bob pulling a classic March Bob? I do not. No, I would drop Bob. Start Murray over Saros today. I'd probably play Saros actually over Murray. Murray's been brutal. All of Pittsburgh's been brutal recently. I think I'd rather have Saros. I know it's crazy, but I'd probably have Saros. Daryl, A. Gamby, Sit 2, Tom Wilson, Kyler Yamamoto, Ryan Stroh, Matt Barzal, RNH, and Brady Kachuk. Oh, Darlene. No, yeah, you're fine in dropping Darlene. Darlene is a good drop, I think. Yeah. Darlin. I love that he's called Darlin. Such a better name than Darlene. So this is Tom Wilson, Kyler Yamamoto, Brady Kachuk. I'm ahead in all cats so far. Okay, so you just need coverage. So I'd play Brady Kachuk because if you're already ahead in cats, he's just going to help you pull away pretty much. I think you're playing RNH. I'd sit Wilson only because Wilson's been he's been fighting and kind of get moved off that top line a little bit sometimes. How has Strome been? I haven't paid attention to him as much recently because I don't own him now. I've glanced at him from time to time, and he's so highly owned, we don't really get to talk about him very much. But he's been all right. I'm probably honestly benching Ryan Strome and Ryan Strome and Tom Wilson, and then playing Brady Barzal, RNH. Actually, you know what? You already have RNH. I'd play Strome, Barzal, RNH, Kachuk. That'd be my order. That's what I'd do. Back to dropping Darlene for Niskanen. Flyers D are hot and offensive. I already have Provorov, but I'm liking the idea of both. I don't know if I'd do both. But they are hot right now. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Why not, I guess. It's a good gamble this time of the year in playoffs. Love the podcast, by the way. Long live Alex Edler. Yes, I looked today on Cameo. If Alex Edler does a cameo, he doesn't. I'm really sad about it. It's really, really, really sad. We totally would have paid Edler to do some kind of cameo. We got to talk to the right people and see if we can get him on the show one day. Who's next here? Snipe Jones already have Heinen, and it's a bangers between Nino and Richie, I guess. Richie averaging more points with the league setup, both on season and short term, but Nino plays 3 games and maybe has more upside. Still Nino. Yeah, I'd probably still go Nino just because of, I mean, unless like the difference in average is massive, I'd probably go Nino just because you're going to get net more games out of him, and the matchups are fantastic for him. I'd hold Darlene over Niskin. The top power play upside is still there. I mean, it's kind of there. I don't know. That's the tough thing. I don't know. Keep 2 for playoffs between Kemper, Korpisalo, Kudobin. Probably Kemper, Kudobin at this point, I think. I really like Korpisalo, but I don't know if I really buy... I probably lean Kudobin Kemper here, depending on how many starts. Like, if you only need 3 starts a week, I'd definitely go Kemper Kudobin. But Kudobin's been getting like 50-50 at this point. So I would go Kudobin Kemper there. Ronick, Falk, or Eric Johnson for next week. Falk. I like Falk a lot for peripherals. He's been hitting a ton. So if what you need is peripherals, I'd go Falk. If what you need is point upside, Ronick. Eric Johnson is whatever. Hopefully there's another listener league I can join next year. Oh, there will be. We'll have listener leagues next year. If Minnesota over Richie or Nino, do I go Greenway, Donato, or Hartman? Greenway, Donato. I'd probably go Donato. Donato's been doing well, surprisingly, sometimes. Nicholas, bench 1 tonight. Vasi, Crawford, Hart. Wins, losses, shutouts. I'm probably playing Vasi and Hart. Hart has been phenomenal. He's incredible at home. Tampa Bay Lightning have a 60% chance of winning, as you can see. And Philadelphia's 53.1%. And then Chicago's playing the red-hot Oilers, so I want no piece of that. So I like that move of playing Hart and Vasi and benching Crawford there. My tattoo went well. It took like an hour. It was pretty good. It wasn't as bad as I thought. There was a certain part that hurt, and it's still a little bit sore, but it wasn't too bad. Last time I went for my other one, it wasn't fine line. Like, he didn't do single needle, and this was single. A lot of this work was pretty much single needle, except for the outline, except for like the border. And so it was weird. I'd never done single needle before, so that was new, but it was good. I'm glad yours went well. I know you guys have been hyping up Brown, but for a points league, would Iafallo be a better ad? I think they're equal, actually. Like, they're both on the same. They're both getting the same exact deployment. It just kind of. I think what matters is how do they fit with your actual roster comp. But from a points perspective, I think they're pretty equal between Iafallo and Dustin Brown. From Sharos. Sean, Saros, Shesterkin, Korpisalo, who do you like the most and least rest of season? I like Shesterkin the best, I think, just because he's so proven at the top levels and everyone knows what he can do. Then it's probably, I don't know, to me, Saros and Korpisalo are literally like equal. Like, I think they're the same person in many regards. I think Korpisalo is going to face more volume than Saros normally. They're so similar. So Shesterkin the most, and then honestly Korpisalo, Saros, but it depends on how your schedule shakes out. If you only have 2, that means you're going to be fine, but I probably go Saros, I guess, if you were twisting my leg, but honestly, they're really equal. It's just whichever one's been better over the last, like, say, 30 days or so. I would expect Korpisalo to have a lot of games kind of like he just did. Really close ones where he lets in 3 goals, maybe 2-3 goals, and faces the number of shots he did. So if that's worth it to you, then, you know. Which obviously he had a fantastic game. He had a 9-2-1. I would probably go Shesterkin, Korpisalo, Saros in that order, those 3. So yeah. Okay, to replace Darlin, do I pick up Giordano or Edler or O'Reilly, who was just dropped? Points league, I remember the week lock there. I'll probably drop Darlene to pick up. I don't like the pickup for Giordano because Calgary doesn't have a great schedule next week. I would pick up Ryan O'Reilly, actually. He has a great schedule next week. I would definitely go O'Reilly there. If you can fit O'Reilly into your system and how you start, and he can actually get you starts, I'd go O'Reilly for sure. Spurgeon or Keith? Keith all day, Chris. Nathaniel, have you heard anything from Martinez possibly overtaking McNabb for first line defenseman in Vegas? He's a power play 2. Could he make a play for power play 1? I think he could, but I don't see it happening. I mean, he went off at the beginning and still he couldn't sniff it. So, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm the wrong person to ask about plus minus because I literally punt it. I mean, when I look at I'm last. The only league I'm in that has plus minus, I'm dead last, but I'm second in the league. So I punt plus minus. So I'm a terrible person to ask that. I don't even pay attention to it. He could have a terrible plus minus because he's playing so many minutes, especially. But I don't know. Even with that, I still like him the best, I think. Yeah, so I'd go O'Reilly, Shanae, Keith, Chris. Have you heard? And then I said the Martinez thing. I don't think so. Giordano, Edler, or Chabot? Who is the odd one out for a streamer? Was thinking about Gio because of schedule, but not 100%. Yeah, I'd probably do Gio just because of schedule, and keep Edler and Chabot there. Liam. Bill de Iturondo. I've been sitting on Burakovsky for a few weeks. I have a bye next week, so continue to sit on him or swap out. PS currently in first, but probably dropping to second Monday, thanks to you guys. You're probably dropping to second thanks to us and did everything else yourself, probably. Anyways, I would hold, especially if you have a bye. It's worth holding Burakovsky because he might be worth it if he's healthy and actually gets that top line, top power play again. So, Tom, I would hold through the weekend and see what's up. Just because it seems like he's close. Every time a game happens, they're like, oh, he is going to play. And then they're like, oh, no, he's not playing anymore. So he seems day to day at this point, even though it's very kind of ambiguous what the hell happened and why he's out. But they keep ruling him out game to game. So I would hold and just see. But I like Tyson Yost a lot right now, which goes to the question there, Jimmy Brown, any temporary help / replacement for Stone? I like Tyson Yost quite a bit. He got points last night. He's top power play, top line. No, not top line. Nemestikov is top line. But he is top power play, playing really well. He's one option. I'm trying to think of Dustin Brown is another good replacement for Mark Stone right now. Just like deep guys that have good schedules. See if any St. Louis Blues are available if it's a shallower league, because St. Louis is a great schedule next week. But yeah. Yamamoto or Buchnevich for tonight? Probably Buch. Top line, top power play for Buch. Yamamoto's only been playing like 15 minutes, so I got to go Buchnevich there. Start Coots or Rust next week? Well, that is a question of simply scheduling. And in that scenario, Rust has 3 off nights versus the Rangers and the Capitals. And then, oh, you can only make Saturdays ads. Okay, let me get back to you, Tom, really quick. About this Coots Rust question. Philadelphia also has only 3 games, and they're harder. I'd probably play Rust next week, Zelgrim. That'd be my take, just because it's the Rangers and the Caps. Philly plays St. Louis, Dallas, and Nashville. That's 3 hard teams right there. So I would rather have Rust just because of the schedule and who they play. Drop Freddie for Shesterkin. Yes, I would do that. Nathaniel, love this podcast. Thanks for the advice. Can't wait till next season to utilize y'all for the whole year. Draft is going to be super important now in my league that we have gone to a deeper league. Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun. I love doing off-season stuff. It's so much fun. So, Tom, you can only make ads on Saturdays, so you're wondering if you should keep Burakovsky for next week to hold. Ish. No, I would drop. I would go and pick somebody else up just because Colorado next week doesn't have. Well, actually, wait. That's the week after. Hold on. Colorado does have a great schedule next week. What am I saying? Um, I would hold personally. Okay, Tom. Here's the question: who are you picking up for Burakovsky? That's the big question. Because if there's nobody that's really that good out there, then oh, and I skipped Shanae's thing. I think I already showed you, but it's like, let me see. There you go. It's an Avicii tribute. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't really. I don't know if you can see it. You're gonna see blood and stuff on it, but focus, focus, focus. Almost focus. Nope, doesn't want to focus. Kind of. Whatever. You get it. It's an Avicii tribute. It's like he has an EP called "The Days and the Nights." The lyrics to those songs have gotten me through a lot of stuff in my life, and so it's like an illustration of the days versus the nights in either like arrow of his logo, and then yeah, within his logo. So it's a tribute like that. Tom, Ekane, Malkin, Aho, RNH bench 2 tonight. Probably benching Kane and Aho. Yeah, probably Kane and Aho there. Play Malkin and RNH. I mean, RNH has just been so good. He's been one of the highest point getters in the last, like, in 2020, I think. So that's what I would do. I'm going to sign off here in like 5 minutes. So getting those last questions, and then I will be checking out for today. Which reminds me, I should probably set my own lines here and make sure that they're all set. Los Patos. Los Patos, yep. Anyone with any upside for next week on Los Patos? Yeah, I like a few people. I like Getzlaff. I like Danson Heinen in deep leagues. Um, don't really like Henrique now that he's playing less minutes. It's probably Heinen for deep leagues has the most upside, and then there's Getzlaff as well for that. No idea how long Stone is out. The only thing I know so far is kind of the same as you guys, that he's out a few weeks. And that's it. I don't really know more than that, which sucks. No! Did my opponent pick up Pajot this week? Damn him. He didn't. How did he just randomly get an extra 3 points projected? Sucks. Oh, Qdoban got the start today. They have Qdoban. Ah! Okay, folks, let's see if you want to help me with a sit start one here. So I've got Mike Smith, UC Saros, Alexander Georgiev, and Carey Price. Which two are you starting tonight? I know which I already chose my two, but I'm curious to see what you all think I should do. So again, Mike Smith, UC Saros, Alexander Georgiev, and Carey Price. Those are the four. See what you think. The other ones, I'm not really benching anyone, so. I'd drop Jari to bring Bishop off IR+. And also, yeah, I think Eichel was always poised to take a step back. That's kind of what I'd mentioned when people. I remember at some point in the middle of the season, I'd said try to not necessarily ship off Eichel, but just kind of see the feelers. This was what I was afraid of with Eichel, was he was so over-indexed that come playoff time, this is when you're going to feel it. This is when players like him start to fall off a little bit, when teams show their true colors. A lot of people saying they like Georgie and Smith. Interesting. Definitely Smith is one of them. Yeah, so everyone agrees on Smith. I'm definitely starting Smith. So everyone got that one right. Definitely starting him. Another one for Smith. Saros here. I love having bye weeks. It's so much fun. Makes my life so much easier. Being in like 12 leagues is ridiculous. It's so hard to keep up. Many a time I've forgotten to set my lines. If you're wondering what I was going to go with, I did have Smith and Saros set up right now. The only reason I'm benching Georgiev is because I feel like there's a chance for a blowout there. And Georgiev is actually just trash at home. He's so bad at home. I am running Smith next week. I might be dropping. This is kind of insane, but for the playoffs, I may actually be dropping. Oh, actually, yeah, I am running Smith next week. This is a really goalie heavy league, so goalies matter a ton. That's why I have so many goaltenders. But I may be dropping. Honestly, if Price gets lit up, like I might be dropping Price. He's been so bad. I might be dropping Price here because their schedule isn't great. There's a lot of good goaltenders in the wire. I don't mind. Like I'm fine. Just I'll probably drop Georgiev sometime next week because Shesterkin is coming back. But outside of that, like, couldn't be bothered to be honest. And Shesterkin is taken, which sucks in this league. Otherwise, I would just run that tandem. Yeah, it's hard to trust the Preds, but I mean, in this league, yep, I missed the playoffs in the Bufflin League. Yep, calling me out. Wow. Ah, terrible. Yeah, I finished ninth. I was pretty close to a playoff spot though, much closer than I thought I was gonna be. Man. Yeah, after Covey left, they were trash, so I might be dropping him here soon. Okay, folks, I think I am going to call it a day. I'm glad I didn't go all robotic-y today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll do a sit start Saturday, and on top of that, we'll also be doing a week preview. Obviously, that'll be out on Sunday, so pay attention to that. And next week, we'll also have more live streams because there's going to be a lot of heavy slates next week, so keep an eye out for those. But thanks for tuning in. This was fun. We've got to do more. Good luck in your playoffs. Hit us up on Twitter. Also, go watch the weekend preview if you haven't already. It's out, so go to our channel, watch the weekend preview. And that, thank you for watching. Catch you next time.